Hello. 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 I'm in quarantine. So, because of this, I'm pretty much at my house. Like, filming a final film project with no tripod, no camera, no like rig or stabilizer. Just me, my phone, and hopefully an editing software that works. Hopefully. We're crossing our fingers. But yeah, so I'm here at home. School's been canceled. It got canceled not last Sunday, the Sunday beforehand. And I've been doing at home learning for about a week. And it's been going good, honestly. So we pretty much were given like all of our assignments and like this is when they're due. So like I can just do them whenever I feel like it. So I can just like chill in my room all day long and be fine and happy. So my mental health going pretty great. Not gonna lie. I'm just gonna keep this short and simple here. Quick little summary of what's happening. And I'll update you tomorrow. And yeah, will do. Hello, I'm back. Here for a little update on what happened yesterday because I left my house. My sister had an orthodontist appointment yesterday, so I drove her there because my mom was working. And so we got there, and an orthodontist place, business, probably not the best thing to be doing right now. So pretty much they're allowed, like, the orthodontist obviously can, like, go in, but they only allow in 2 patients at a time. So I had to sit in the car as she went to go get her stuff done. But there was also, like, a phone number on the door. You gotta, like, message them. You message them, like, hey, I got here, so they can tell you can come in. And so we did that, figured it out. As far as we've gotten today, that's about it. So I will come back tomorrow and I'll talk more about this crazy situation. Goodbye. Hello, I got to leave the house again. So pretty much, me and my friend were talking for a few days. We're like, if we played it really safe, could we meet up? The answer ended up being yes, obviously, because we both were quarantining ourselves in our house, so we weren't leaving, going around meeting people, except for our parents both coming and going for work, which they can't really avoid to a certain sense. So we met up at this park. It was like near the downtown area, but not exactly. And we just sat and talked for a while. And because he brought his dog, we walked his dog for about 3 hours or so. The dog is big. He's like big, black, very cute. And the dog held up pretty well for that long. Surprisingly, it was like 84 degrees. And so it was fairly toasty for a fluffy dog. So yeah, that was my Friday. Pretty good. I enjoyed it, and I will be back. I have nothing really to say, except for I guess I changed my sheets. That's pretty impressive, I know. So, because I have this time, I'm going to go ahead and highlight something else that's been happening with, like, close friends and stuff. But one of my best friends, she's been, pretty much for the entirety of 2020 so far, she's been just in and out of hospitals and doctor's visits. She has a really bad kidney, and she's constantly having infections and stuff like that in there. And so before school was canceled, she was out of school for a pretty long time, just with infections and stuff. She's been picking up flu-like symptoms, where she's just like constantly vomiting, she can't eat, coughing, sneezing, crazy like high fevers. And so she went to the doctor a little bit ago, and she's recommended to be tested for COVID-19. She hasn't been tested quite yet. She's trying to play it safe because if she doesn't have it, she's really worried she will get it going to like a hospital and stuff. So yeah, there's that. I'm really hoping the best for her because she is immunocompromised with all this kidney stuff. Because if she gets it, it'd be really bad news really fast, kind of thing. Hello, let's talk about food. So my family's been getting takeout a lot lately. So we're, trying to support local businesses who like need customers to stay afloat. So we've gotten like pizza, burgers, we had Chinese food. We're just going all out. And it's good because I can't cook at all, which is a strong disadvantage. Like, noodles can only get you so far. But I've been obsessed with Kraft mac and cheese lately. I didn't eat it for the longest period of time. But then we got some, like, you know what, we'll have one again. It's been like over a year, probably 2. And I made one, and it was life-changing. I've been craving it all the time, like non-stop. So most people are spending this time in quarantine, like maybe going on walks, reading books, watching movies. My parents have decided to spend this time just like doing home improvement kind of stuff. So their most recent task is to like create like a screened-in porch area in our backyard so we can like spend more time outside without all the bugs, because our bugs are horrible over here. Hello. So our gazebo finished being like put together, all that stuff, the deck, all that fun stuff. It was done late Sunday, so I didn't really get to talk about it until now. It turned out pretty well. I'll put some pictures here and there so you can see what it looks like. So for this episode kind of thing, I figured I'd be talking about, the me time I've been having recently, because it's just been me, my room, my house, my thoughts kind of thing. But like when school is in session, I am waking up anywhere between like 5:15 and 6:30. And depending on the day if there's a test or not, I will get up early around the 5:15 mark and I will just study until like 6:45 when I start getting up, getting ready for school. After I'm done getting up, getting ready for school, I study again, I drive to school, I study in my car, I get to school, I take my quizzes, my tests, because I have quizzes and tests like every day. So I do that, I go to school, I come home, I take an hour break, and then I'm studying and doing homework until midnight, every night. And I've never felt so stress-free. Just like feeling that I can do anything I feel like it, whenever I feel like it. So I've just been, doing things I want to. Like I wanted to learn a foreign language a few years back. So I did like Duolingo every day for the entire summer. That was very pointless. All I learned were the letters and like the word for man. That's about as far as I got there. But like now it's like I have time, so I could if I wanted to. And it's weird to say I'm gonna miss this because I think I will a little bit. But I have Alzheimer's, which is pretty much the same thing, since I'm pretty sure my vacations got canceled. But yeah. Hello. So I had a math test, and let me kind of explain the situation around that. So I'm taking AP Stat right now, and my teacher was like on Google Classroom, like, you guys have to show up at noon. The test opens at noon on Google Classroom. You gotta turn in by 2. I prepared. I was ready to go, and then like literally 5 minutes before noon, my sister's like, the Wi-Fi is out. So that was really great. Our neighborhood, there's a good mix of people there. So we were like riding our bikes, and in the middle of the road, there were just a bunch of people just in the middle of the road. And we're like, what's happening here? And so we start like avoiding people to drive past, and we notice these 2 people, I think they're like middle-aged people, they're just like playing their guitars and singing on their front porch. And there's like this crowd of people like enjoying it, like clapping and getting into it. And it was a really neat experience, actually. Hello and happy Easter. It is indeed Easter today. Did it feel like Easter? No. But okay, a short run through of what I did for Easter today. So I usually have our grandparents over for Easter. We have like a big lunch, we go search for baskets and stuff like that. But obviously they're my grandparents. They have to stay home and stay safe. So it was just my family this year. And it was fine. So I woke up, I kind of just chilled in my bed for a bit. My family was like, oh, you should go look for your Easter baskets. So me and my sister like hid each other's Easter baskets. We each found them. My Easter basket was hidden behind like a laundry like basket, and I hid my sister's where like our cat beds were. Hello. So the past 24 hours have been something else, let me tell ya. So I ended up going to bed around, I attempted to go to bed around 2:30ish, but it was like storming out. So my dog was like up and down, because I sleep with my dog and she's scared of like thunder, lightning. So I was trying to like get her to go to sleep for a while. And the last time I remember seeing on the clock was about 3 a.m. And then it's around 4 a.m. and I hear like someone busting through my door. And it's my dad, and he's like, Riley, there's a tornado warning. And so that was a rude awakening with my 1 hour of sleep. So my entire family just kind of gathers in our hallway, which is like right over there. And it's not a fun experience. Like my sister looked like she was about to have like a panic attack or something because apparently my dad went in to wake her up and her first response was kick. So she kicked as hard as she could on like my kicked my dad. And she was laying on the floor and she just looked shaken. And she's like crawling to move. And I felt really bad for her. I mean, we're only in the hallway for like 15 minutes before it kind of passed over us, but it did sound pretty rough. Hi. Um, so, summary. I spent most of my day doing my stat homework because it is spring break, but I have a lot of like stat review stuff to do before my exam. So I was gonna like work ahead. So I've been spending a really long time like reviewing stuff, getting like the packet stuff I needed to get done. And so I'm doing my packet, and all of a sudden I hear my mom like go to my sister's room because our rooms are literally a wall apart and they're paper thin. And I heard her say, Tinker's gone. Tinker is my dog, the one that sleeps with me, I mentioned before. And she went missing because apparently someone let her outside. Our back gate was open and she left. And apparently she's been out there for about 30 minutes. And we just can't find her. So my entire family like got everything we could and we just like booked it out of her house and like looked as much as we could. So like I brought squeaky toys and I started like walking around my neighborhood squeaking on our regular like walking trail area. And it was chaos a little bit. And so we did end up finding her. So that's good. Hello. Remember how I talked about how time is a blur? Yeah, so was my mental state at this point. I cannot tell if it's just me being dumb or what, but I have not laughed so much in a short period of time. Like, I'm not laughing at anything funny either. Like, I will not laugh at like a well-told joke at this point, but I will sit on my bed and laugh for 20 minutes over the fact that Alvin from Alvin the Chipmunks, has a last name. It occurred to me, and I laughed for 15 minutes, and I took a shower, and I laughed in the shower. And then the other night, I was laughing at stock footage, like stock images of people like using lawnmowers. I think I saved at least 20 photos of people just using lawnmowers on my phone now. Things are getting crazy. So because grocery stores are like maxed out of food and stuff like that, like we're rationing stuff at this point. Like, for example, Clorox wipes. Like we had some beforehand, but now they're like impossible to find. So like our house is progressively just getting more dirty. Napkins as well. It's like you keep one when you need one. Like if you need one, you use it. Otherwise, good luck, buddy. Toilet paper as well. It's like only take what you need. Like toilet paper is a valuable possession now. Tissues as well. We're doing okay on tissues, but if one of us gets sick, who knows how long those will actually last us. Food as well. I'm kind of trying to eat less. I mean, I'm still eating like enough, so like I'm not having issues, but I'm definitely hungry all the time now because I'm trying to eat smaller portions, eat smaller meals, less of them. So I have like, instead of like 3 meals a day, I have like 2, like a small lunch and then like a medium dinner kind of thing. I mean, that's what to do because we're trying to avoid going to the grocery store a good bit because that's not a good place to be right now. But today, I went to Walmart for the first time since quarantine happened. And so, they're constantly talking about like wear masks, social distance. That's what I would expect going there, but no. I'd say about a third of the people there wore masks. And pretty much no one social distance. Like there was like little X's in the lines and stuff like that. Like they made it so you could almost social distance, but the people who were there also shopping were the problem because you'd be like, looking at the noodle section, the pastas, and you'll just be like looking, minding your business, and someone will just like book it past you. like literally not even a foot apart. But another thing I noticed was the things that were missing were also, there's expected things like cleaning supplies, like some food. I just didn't expect some of the other stuff that was gone. Like the entire like deli meat section was just non-existent. I didn't realize deli meat was that popular all of a sudden. And also just like I'm trying to remember what else. I know for sure the ice cream section was. Don't get me wrong, as I said before, ice cream is indeed a necessity, okay? I just didn't realize that everyone also believed it was a necessity, and apparently it was one of the first things to go because the ice cream section was quite empty compared to what it usually is. So it's official. School's canceled for the rest of the year today. It was announced. I can't remember when today. It was like afternoon. But yeah, it's pretty much said that, we're not coming back for the rest of the school year. We're doing online learning up until June something. And yeah, that's where we're at. And I kind of saw this coming. I think everyone did. They wouldn't be going back, but I was still holding on to a little hope that we'd go back for a little bit in May. But I totally understand why they canceled stuff. It's just, it would have been nice to see people again, especially the seniors, because I do have a couple senior friends, and like we're talking to each other, we're close, we're like mutual friends, but like we're not super close, or we'd probably do something outside of school kind of thing. So I may like never see them again. So that's kind of sad to think about. But I mean, what are you gonna do? I do feel bad for the seniors though, because they never got like a proper last day. Like the last day of school was March 13th, which also a friend told me, ironically, was a Friday the 13th. This year was just a lot of consistent hard work. Like I feel like I never got much of a break this year because there's always like I had to do something, I had to do something, I had to do something. And while it's still kind of the case now, there's always something more I could be doing. It's just now I have so much free time and my focus is not there. That's just not happening as it would have if I was currently in school. Hi, so there was indeed tornadoes that hit yesterday. So I'm gonna kind of start where I left off. So not very long after I took my video, I'd say around like 7:30ish, there was like a wave of just bad wind, whatever. And so since we got that new like gazebo thing in the back, my parents are kind of worried like, oh, boys are gonna blow away or something like that because it's brand new. So they kind of like secured that a little bit, and it didn't get very bad in here. Like we pretty much just okay. So my sister is kind of freaked out over this stuff now. She always has been a little bit, but ever since the last time where it was like 4 a.m. whenever it happened, she was kind of freaked out. And so she pretty much got like a bunch of books and all of our shoes. Like there was a beanbag chair in there. It was very comfortable. They all went our hallway again when it got a little bit bad. And it lasted not very long. And when we came back out, our parents just kind of watched a movie, whatever. I went back in my room and tried to do homework, get some stuff done. And then I'd say about an hour or so later, my like window is like halfway open. Like it's pretty dark out, but at this point it's like pitch black all of a sudden. And I just see like lightning in the distance. I'm like, oh, it's back. And it was. So yeah, the wind started picking up really badly. I could hear hail. And pretty much immediately once the hail started, we had to go straight back into our hallway. And I mean, it wasn't too horrendous, but like I've seen pictures today and there were some places in my neighborhood, or I guess not less neighborhood, just in the really close to me, that were hit pretty bad. But while we were in the second like tornado warning watch hit, whatever we had, the power did go out. And so our grandpa kind of called us and he's like, yeah, the power's gonna be out to like 3:30 a.m. But my sister, because of what happened on the 13th, Easter, the last tornado warning, she couldn't sleep by herself because she usually sleeps with like a noisemaker, like a fan. And since the last time, she just can't. Like she's just scared of the dark, she's scared of silence, stuff like that. So she had to sleep in my room. Welcome back to another day in my life, and these things are getting harder and harder to make because every single day is exactly the same. Like pretty much identical at this point. Motivation is not there whatsoever. Like towards the beginning of this, I thought I could do something. I could learn something. I could, take some time for me, maybe do some things I don't have time for when I had school in session because I was so busy doing school all the time. But now I just lost all that motivation. Like, I pretty much just do those same things every day without any change. I mean, sometimes I'll like maybe leave my house a little bit, but even then it's like nothing's happening. Nothing is ever happening. Oh, so I thought I'd talk about a bit on how my perspective of things have been changing a good bit lately. Because the things I didn't take much enjoyment in before are now becoming bigger parts of my life, I guess. More exciting, at least. And, like, for example, like, it was supposed to rain today. And I'd be doing my homework, and every 5 minutes or so, I just stare outside and wait for that rain. Like, I don't think that's a very normal thing to do, is just stare at windows for long periods of time. But that's what I did for a lot of today because I was crossing my fingers I'd eventually see a raindrop. That's where we're at. And I mean, even like simple like daily tasks are becoming very exciting for me. Like I will shower and that will be the highlight of my day. So I'm tired. I feel like I'm always tired though. But today's one of those days where sleeping sounded like the right decision. That's all there is. I've been sleeping a lot recently. Like, there's nothing else to do. Might as well just be unconscious for it, I guess. I don't know. Hey, so today I've been doing thinking and stuff. I guess reflection, more or less. But you just take things for granted when things are normal. Because, things like going to the grocery store, going to school, all that stuff just sounded horrible at the time. Like, yeah. Like, going to Walmart, whoopee, going to school, yay, But now that stuff is kind of gone. I mean, you can still go grocery shopping, obviously, but you gotta be cautious and stuff like that. But school is non existent right now and for the rest of the year. You hate those things, and then they're gone, and it's just, you feel empty without them, And that's what I think about a lot is I've heard lots of people say mixed things about junior year. I've mentioned it again before, but it's just lots of people look at junior year like in two ways. They either absolutely hated it or they loved it. And I couldn't stand it because of schoolwork. And it had me thinking that I could have done so many great things junior year. That would have like made a difference, made more friends, done more stuff out of my house. But I pretty much rejected most of the opportunities I got to go do stuff because I was studying and because of exams and tests and all these things. I was like, this is going to impact my future. I need to do this. I need to do it now. I got to be perfect to the best of my ability, And all that stuff just seems pointless now. Especially with exams being literally open book at this point. Like, all those hours I spent studying, like, I can have, like, a sheet with everything I need on it right next to me on my desk as I work. And it kills me knowing that I wasted so much time. Hello, so today I've just been studying nonstop. Today marks a week until my chemistry exam. And I know school is literally all I've talked about for almost all of these. That's all that's been happening. So because my exam's next week, I've just been feeling a lot of pressure because I mentioned before this is probably best case scenario, but I have a time limit, a really, really tight time limit. That's what I'm scared about, is since I'm reviewing by myself, I haven't been in a physical classroom in a really long time, will I be ready? I don't think so. Almost all the practice I've been doing is wrong. I'm not retaining what I've been meant to. I'm doing all the assignments our teacher gives us to review. I'm doing everything I can think to do, but it's not sticking. I have a week to get it. And I know that seems like a lot of time, but it's not. My goal at this point in time was to be almost ready to go, to use this week to just clean up the final things that need to be done, just perfect myself and perfect every other subject. But I'm most worried about chemistry because this is the hardest class I've ever taken, to put it lightly, and that's all that's been happening. I feel like every second of the day needs to be spent studying. I know it's not realistic because I can't do that. I take little breaks, and those little breaks turn to long breaks, and then I'm just back at square one of not doing anything every single day. And as it's slowly creeping closer, it makes me feel nauseous. Hey, so I'm back. And I've been feeling really lonely lately. Is where I'm at currently. I'm the kind of person who likes to talk like face to face, and I'm not a big texting person at all. It's just a lot of commitment because you gotta I don't know. You gotta make the effort to text constantly, or else you just don't hold the conversation very well. Well, in person it just comes much more naturally, at least to me. So I haven't been texting really anyone at all. Like, even the people I was close with in school, like people I consider my closest friends, I've barely talked to them. I used to talk to them every single day at school. But I guess it really kind of shows you what kind of friends you have. I not to mean them. That's not what I'm trying to get at here. Not my point. But it's just, we're friends because of school. We're friends because we see each other every day. But is there enough connection to keep us going is kind of where I'm at. Because if we're looking at things like in terms of like a summer vacation, like let's just say the day we got to school for quarantine was the first day of summer vacation. It'd be like back to school season right now. Like the 2 months are almost already over. And that's what's strange is how fast time goes, how fast it flies. Truly. And I'm going to be a senior next year. So I have about a year left with these people. And it's going by faster and faster every year. But I haven't been talking much lately to anyone, even my own family. So I've been kind of neglecting doing something for a while. So I have this plant, and it's dead. It's very dead. I mean, I brought it so you can see it's all shriveled. It's gone. And I got the plant a really, really long time ago, and I've had it for years. I've seen it grow, and I've seen it, go through its life cycle, I guess. And I neglected it really badly, and I forgot to water it. It started off like one day I wouldn't water it, it'd be fine. I just, water it tomorrow. And then tomorrow became 2 days, and then 3 days, and 4 days, and then I just didn't water it. And I thought I could fix it. I really did. I thought that, if I gave it a lot of time and care at the end, it'd come back. And it didn't. It didn't come back. It died. And that's what school did, is I wake up, I study, I go to school, and then I come back and I study. I go to sleep, I study. That's how my day was. And I wanted to spend every single second doing that I didn't think to water my plants. I thought that it'd be fine. That if I just give them a lot of water, at some point in time, that it'd get back to normal. And it didn't. It was too late. Hey. So, I'm here doing another one of these things, I guess. So, I have not been doing the best lately. So I have anxiety. I've kind of always had it, and I don't know why it's happening so soon. I don't know if it's because I'm pressuring myself or what, but my sleep schedule's a mess again. Like before it was more by choice, and now it's kind of like anxiety's waking me up, anxiety's not letting me sleep about these tests and everything else that's been going on. I haven't had this issue for a long time. Like, my anxiety was pretty much gone around the beginning of junior year, I'd say. Like, it's there, but it's very manageable. And all of a sudden it's back and better than ever is the nice way to put it, I guess. Eating has been sparse. Like, I eat meals. I'm not starving myself, I promise, but it's just when my anxiety is bad, it's hard for me to eat. It constantly feels like there's like a knot in my stomach, like all day long. Like, I'll go to sleep and it's there. I wake up and it's there, and I eat and it's there, and it prevents me from doing basic human things at this point. And my test isn't for like almost a week. So that's great. If I'm a mess by the time my test comes around, then what? I don't know. So that's what's been happening there, I guess. Hello. So, welcome to holiday part 2 in quarantine. So, I guess this holiday wasn't too terribly different. I mean, okay. So, in quarantine so far, we've gone through like Easter, St. Patrick's Day, my mom's birthday, not technically a holiday, but I'm counting it, special event for my family. And now we're at Mother's Day. So for all of these, it's kind of the same thing, I guess. It's like we all just kind of like eat a lunch or dinner together kind of situation. But I guess we're at the point in time where my family feels safe enough to see like our grandparents. Our grandparents live about like 10, not even 10, like 5 minutes away. And so they came over for Mother's Day. It was my grandpa and my grandma. And we just kind of had like a cookout, barbecue kind of thing. I don't know how to describe it. So, yeah, pretty much we were there talking, and then I heard one of them mention that, like, a girl died recently. Like, falling from a waterfall. And so, I don't really keep up with the news much anymore. I keep track of the numbers. That's it. And they mentioned the name, and it sounded familiar, so I did some research on my phone, and I definitely recognized her, for sure. I didn't know her personally, but I know she's been a grade above me my entire life. Like, she's gone to, like, every single school I have since, like, elementary school. So I definitely recognized her. I think we had some classes together, too, at some point in time. So, I don't know. I feel bad for her family, for sure. I hope everyone else is okay and things are going fine. But I know since she like lived in our neighborhood, whatever, my sister mentioned that when she went bike riding one night, she saw like this little like memorial thing made for her. And there was like candles being lit and like the lanterns being pushed into the sky kind of thing. Hi. So, I had a friend I mentioned a while back. She had like kidney issues or whatever, worried about her getting COVID. So here's a little update on her situation. So it's been long enough, I can assure you she does not have COVID. But she's having kidney problems again, so she's gonna have to go to Charleston, most likely. Things are still kind of up in the air, but she's most likely gonna do that so she can get some stuff removed and fixed, whatever. And I don't know how Charleston's doing, but I mean, if she's got like hotel rooms and restaurants and stuff, she's gotta go to a hospital, whatever. I'm just worried for her because obviously she's my friend, whatever, and through this entire time, she's like the one person who's talked to me pretty much. Even if it's just over text. We just send ourselves like, I don't know, at least 1 to 2 messages a day or something like that. But that's all I get. And since she's immunocompromised, I don't know how this is gonna go or how people are acting down there. That's it. It's just another layer of stress I have right now while this is happening. I don't know. It just, I've said this before, it just seems like bad thing after bad thing is happening now at this point. It's just, 1 second it's just, we're fine, we're in here, we'll learn a language, watch TV. And now it's like anxiety through the roof. Someone died off a waterfall. There's tornadoes and people getting their homes like lost and without power and all this crazy stuff that's happening out of literally nowhere. I can't be the only person thinking this. I'm gonna make this very quick. I'm stressed out. I'm really, really stressed out. Like, I'm shaking, like, a little, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm like, I can't right now. So my exam is tomorrow, and I'm not sleeping. I'm not. I went to bed at like 3 a.m. last night, and I woke up at 6 because there's a knot in my stomach day and night, and it's getting bad. And my exam is tomorrow, and I'm freaking out to say the least. I've done so many practice tests, test after test after test after practice, and I've gone crazy. I've spent hours putting together a little cheat sheet thing. It's coming in handy, but it's hard to read because it's so small. I'm trying to get like front and back, whatever. And I'm freaking out. It's tomorrow. I've dreaded this day since the second I started the class. I'm not a chemistry person. I have this thing, I feel like I always have to be perfect to like a certain point. Like, I know, like, I'm not expecting like a perfect score or whatever. Like, that's unrealistic. But I push myself as hard as I can to make sure I can get as close to my personal best as I can get. And if I'm not spending day and night practicing, then I'm not doing my best. Hey, so let me kind of explain what's been happening the past 24 hours because it's been a ride. Anyways, I mean, in short, last night, things were going great. I was doing practice problems, and I was getting lots of things right and like really good speeds and stuff like that. So I was like, wow, you know what, today is going to go well. Like, there's a chance I could get a 5. So now, let's fast forward a little bit. I'm going to bed, and just at this point, just remember that I'm running on like lack of sleep, very little of that, not much food because my anxiety's been bad, and just layers and layers of stuff at this point. So with that happening, I get woken up at like 5 a.m. by my dogs. There's no way I was getting sleep, so and I went to bed around probably 1 a.m. So I'm running on 4 hours of sleep and no food. So because I'm tired, I decide to, just like drink an energy drink, get my energy up so I'm ready to go. Did practice problems again. And I ended up getting like food like right before my test started, so I had something in me to get going. And so the test starts, and it's so long. I don't know how they expected me to do one problem with like 12, 13 parts in 25 minutes. And I'm doing this on my phone. It's not that big, it's not. And so it's very hard to read stuff. And again, all the practice things I did were totally fine. I did it on my phone and it was easy to read, piece of cake, fine. I mentioned I did practice. Yeah, so I brought that to show just so you could see like lots and lots of papers of just me practicing College Board chemistry stuff on their website and on their official like YouTube stuff, which they're like, yes, this is great review. They're pushing it towards you so you remember it. And then I get my test, and the majority, like all the big points and all the college board site stuff and the YouTube channel, those are all like those big points that really, really pushed on you. None of it was there. None of it was all the little details that they just didn't mention. And then, okay, so we're right there. So a small timelet, things I didn't study. So we can imagine I'm struggling. Because what do you expect me to do? Not struggle? So we get there, we're doing great, we're fine. And then I had to upload my pictures because I wrote it all on pieces of paper. I have to like submit a photo, okay? So you're with me there. And so in the process of doing that, the website crashes on me. You have a 5-minute interval to get the stuff ready to go. So I was submitting a picture and then I hit, attach photo, and it freezes. And I sit there and wait like, they said don't back out, they said don't refresh, they said don't back out, they said don't refresh. So I did it for a little bit, and then I'm like, this isn't gonna work. So then I go to my email and I try to re-click the ticket, whatever. I do it again. The Wi-Fi crashes. So then luckily I planned for this because my Wi-Fi has been hot garbage, as you can tell from my my math test. I took a while back where the exact same issue happened, where right before the test, my Wi-Fi went out. So I'm in the middle of my AP exam, my Wi-Fi is out, I turn on my service, I somehow managed to get to work with like a minute to spare, so I'm rapidly taking these photos, I'm sending them in. The next question starts, the exact same process kind of happens again. I mean, when I say process, I mean with the questions and stuff, I got the internet to work, whatever, it was fine. But I feel so bad about it. Like, I spent hours and hours of my time on this test. I neglected so many things for this test, okay? And I might not even pass. And that's what's getting to me about it. Like, I spent days not, like, barely eating, barely sleeping. On Mother's Day, my entire family got together. I haven't seen them in forever. Am I a big talker? No, but it was nice to have a little break. But even during that little break, I only stayed for a little bit of time so I could go study. I'm constantly just putting things off. My friends, like, I haven't talked to them, and they said it's like a mutual thing, but I mean, I have to take responsibility for that too. I mean, it's definitely partially my fault, and it's because of this. I work myself until I can't work anymore. And I feel like the room's like 100 degrees, okay? I'm shaking. I don't. And then, like, what? And then what? What happens after this? I have a summer of nothing? Like, what's the reward? I failed the test. There's no school, no friends. I'm sure I'm starving myself. You can call it that, whatever. If we want to, that's fine. No sleep. No one to talk to. For 2 months. I have 2 more months of this. I mean, I'm not doing school. Sure, that's fine. I'm just sitting at home doing absolutely nothing. What's the joy in that? What am I gonna do? I don't know. I feel like I wasted so much time. Because I probably could have done the exact same on this freaking test. If I would have studied anyways, if I would have spent time doing other things, I probably would have done the exact same. Because that's the point I was at anyways. I don't know. This seems so pointless. Cause sure, I could sit here, I could do this every day. I could sit here and just talk and talk and talk about the same day every single day. Because that's what it's gonna be, because I wasted so much time. And I'm rambling at this point. I am. I know I'm rambling. But I'm sick and tired of this. I'm done. It's not worth my time. It's not worth my energy. It's not. And that's where we're at right now. I'm tired. I'm so tired. And I'm done with this. That's it. That's all I have for you today, okay? That's it, okay? The outbreak started getting really bad. Containing the virus became almost impossible. All work and business has to be done from home, and no one really leaves their house anymore, as most things are delivered and most buildings remain fairly empty. To this day, I still regret wasting what felt like my last few months of freedom. I don't really know what's going to happen next, but we just sit and we wait.
The COVID-19 virus has once again mutated. In order to protect the human race, multiple organizations have worked together to allow multiple spacecrafts to enter the atmosphere for a 5-week period containing uninfected families. The ships will begin to leave as soon as tomorrow. Get your family tested and get them to space as soon as possible to ensure your survival. Remember to slow the pace we go to space.